Hi everyone, I'm Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures, and I'd like to welcome everyone that's watching live. Say hello, maybe put something in the comments to let me know where you're from, how you're doing. If you're watching on replay, put in hashtag replay and whatever you'd like in the comments. Also, if you have any questions about this live, please put it in the comments below. Everyone that's watching on YouTube, welcome, and anyone on my website, julieseverythingtreasures.com, also, I hope you enjoy this video. So I am Julie from Julie's Everything Treasures, and it's the weekend. It's also Easter weekend, so happy Easter to everyone, and it's kind of a little bit of a different Easter for a lot of people this year, so I hope no matter what, you're enjoying it, and you're kind of reaching out to people maybe in a different way than you would normally do for Easter. But anyway, I'm going to move on, but first I'm going to try and bring this up if I can on my laptop. I'm not very technical on this, so I'm going to see if I can. And if not, that's no big deal, but I might be able to see my comments a little bit easier and be able to answer them. So let me see if I can do that first, and then I can carry on and we can do some fun. Let's see what I've got going on. I can do whatever I seem to want on my phone, but my laptop's never my easiest thing to use. I'm not sure why. But anyway, let's see what I got here. Alright, yes, I think I have it up and my comments are there, so hopefully that'll be great. Anyway, I'm going to go over a few things that are happening. It's the end of my work week because I always take Sundays off to be with the family. So Saturday is I work Monday to Saturday doing my full-time job and also my Julie's Everything Treasures, so Saturday being the end of my work week. And this week I've been very busy doing some painting, doing some crafts, a lot of crafts, and lots going on. And also on my website, Julie's Everything Treasures, I did on my for sale page on my website, I have itemized everything that's for sale that I have. It's got an item number and a price, and on some of it, especially furniture, description and dimensions. This is for people only local to me. So I'm in Chilliwack, BC, Canada. If you are local to me and come to pick up, hi Terry, how you doing? I've just been watching your live and it was amazing. I can't wait to try that, and I just ordered some clay, so hopefully I'll be able to follow you and see how you finish that, and I'll be able to watch that and enjoy doing the clay. Anyway, what I was saying is, thank you, Terry, that's really nice of you for sprinkling. So on my website, everything is for sale, it's itemized, and if you're local to Chilliwack, BC, Canada, so in that area, and you're able to come by to pick up, then hi Denise. Nadine, I don't know where that came from. I was thinking of Denise and thinking of Nadine and put them together. Hi Nadine, how you doing? So happy Easter, Nadine. Happy Easter. Hope you're having lots of chocolate this weekend. So if you're local to me and you can do pickup, I do curbside pickup for anything that I have for sale. You can e-transfer the money, or you can do cash in the mailbox, and we will do a scheduled pickup, and the item will be boxed, and I will make sure it's out at the scheduled time that you want to pick up, and we'll be there to watch through the window to make sure that you've got it nicely and everything's okay. So I'm still doing that, and it's going really well actually. Since I've itemized everything on my website, julieseverythingtreasures.com, I've had quite a few pickups, even furniture this week, and it's gone really well. So that's a new thing that's happening this week. And then next week a little bit, and definitely the week after, I'm going to be doing a little bit more lives, videos and blogs and things like that. I'm going to be doing different things, different days for different things that's going on. So any items that I get dropped off, thank Thank you, Terry. That's really nice of you for sprinkling the love. So any items that you drop off to me, if you want to get a hold of me through Messenger or text or email on my website or Facebook, you can find lots of ways of getting hold of me. If you want to drop off any unwanted items, any junk, that is really helpful right now. The books, ornaments, anything that you have junk-wise in your home that you would usually take to a thrift store and they're closed right now. If you are in the area and like to drop them off at my place, you can contact me for the information, or you can just leave at my front door. So thank you for that. That would be great. And as I say, I'll be doing lives on things that I've been dropped off, like I did this week. I had a drop off this week and that was amazing. I'll be doing some furniture, and I also will be doing some crafts. So I'll have different lives going on throughout the week. I will update you and give you information on what's going on which days, because there'll be different things going on, and it will make sense in the end. It's just starting out, but I'll have a Trash to Treasures day, which I'm doing right now, is a Trash to Treasures. I'll have a craft and chat time, which is always Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I will be doing some furniture techniques, painting or anything like that on usually Thursday and Fridays. And then also at the end of the week on the Saturday, which will, as I say, be starting next week rather than this week, I'll just be doing the wrap up Saturday of chatting, what's going on, what's new, what we made, and going over a few things. And if I have time, I will do something to show you, and if not, we'll just be chatting away on a Saturday. Anyway, lots of information. You don't need to remember it all at once. I will be going through the week, updating you on what's happening and when. So what we are going to be doing this week is a Trash to Treasures, and you've seen me do with these mason jars the decoupage, and we'll be doing something like that. So what I've done before, this one being my bestseller, is the decoupage from napkins, and I will quickly go over how I do this, but I do have another live that I have saved. It's a video. You can go back onto my Facebook or YouTube and have a look to see on that, and I did a full detailed how to do the decoupage for the mason jar, this particular look. And I have a different one here, just to show you a different one. There you go, that's a different pattern. So two different looks, and we're going to be doing this but not copying exactly. I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to be doing Trash to Treasures mason jar decoupage. So bear with me on that, and we will get going on that in a little minute. So I'm going to bring you down and I'm going to have a look, see if there's anything on. As I say, I've got my laptop up right now, so I'm just looking over to see if there's any comments I haven't seen. If you want to ask any questions, put them in the comments and I can answer them. And if I still happen to miss them, I do go back at the end when I finish my live, and I do look on to see if there's anything that I've missed and will answer any of your questions. So if you're on here and you'd like to sprinkle the love, that would be really nice to tell your friends all about Julie's Everything Treasures, and you know, show your friends this live. That would be appreciated, and if you'd like to sprinkle the hearts, that would be great, and any comments, and that would be amazing to help grow this my Julie's Everything Treasures little business. So I'm going to bring you down and let's get going on this craft Trash to Treasures, okay? Bear with me while I bring you down. I will try my best not to drop you, okay? Hold on a minute. One down, move over everything, and the other one down. It's a little bit of a weird. I'm going to put you over, actually, over here, so that you know. That's better. This one over here. I think that's a better angle. Alright then, so we're going to start off with a mason jar, and we're going to paint this 2 coats of white chalk paint. And hi Sheila, how you doing? So this is what we usually do, two coats of white chalk paint. You've seen me do this many times. I don't think you need to watch me paint. So the magic of being able to do this and being prepared, as I am actually prepared a little bit today. Look, it's already painted. I've done this, painted it already, and I would like to just keep going. All right, so just let me move over, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wet distress this just a little tiny bit with with a napkin. And just basically just wipe over with either a wet cloth or a baby wipe and just wet distress. You've seen me do with the wet distressing on many things, but basically a damp cloth will take away some of the paint to reveal underneath, so that it's showing a little bit, as you can see, the detail. And then I have this one here too, is a little tiny one. We're going to do this one. So I'm just going to wet distress this just over the words. And this is the third little tiny one again. Just go over the words. Little wet distress. And then also just around the edges. A little distressing of it. And there's one that I've distressed. Just go over this one a little bit. And basically what you're literally doing is pulling back off some of the paint, right? That's all you're doing to reveal what's underneath, which right now is a glass mason jar. The fresher the paint, the easier to wipe off, and different brands of chalk paint, they do kind of react slightly different. So some of them you can do it with a baby wipe, and some of them you need a little bit stronger cloth. When I'm doing furniture, I find that I have to use a cloth. So we're going to be using this napkin just because it's a little bit better for the size of the little tiny mason jars. And you've seen me do this before. To separate the different layers of the napkin, I'm just going to wet my fingers just a little bit. I know it's gross, sorry, but I'm just going to wet them to get them a little tacky. Oh, and it's already pulling apart already here anyway. So there you go. Pull the first layer off. I didn't even need to wet it. I could see it was open, so that's great. And then also this is going to be 2 layers, pull this apart. So basically most napkins you get, there are some 2-ply, but most of them are 3-ply, meaning there's 3 layers. And to do the actual decoupage that you do like this, you'll be using the top part. So we're going to quickly just run over doing that onto this small little jar just to show you how you do it, and then we'll go to the next stage, because as I say, I'm going to take this up a notch a little bit just to show you the difference. I'm just going to estimate here how much I need. Okay, so I need basically this whole, if you can see, this whole bottom layer is what I'm going to need. And to, instead of cutting the napkin paper, because then you get too much of straight edges and lines, and you see that, you just want a little kind of brush and some just water on it. Run it along the napkin, not straight, in any which way form you want, and just pull it apart where it's wet, just so that you get that natural edge. As I say, you've seen this many times, it's not new to you, but bear with me because we will be taking it up a notch. All right, so that I don't need right now, but seeing that we're doing trash to treasures, waste not, what not, there's many different jars I could do with this one piece, so that would be great. Hi Carol, how are you doing? So we've got this here. I'm just going to run along this bottom edge and a couple of the corners just to take the straightness away, because I don't want it too straight. So I'm just going to get my brush again, just go around the corner a little bit and along the bottom on each of them. Be easier if I actually used the brush end rather than the other end, but you didn't see me do that, right? Only I caught myself doing the wrong end of the brush. Nobody else saw that, right? Get the paintbrush the right way up would help, Julie. Alright, so we are going to be putting the napkin down, get our little tiny mason jar, and we're going to just wrap it around just to get an estimate, because you don't want too much overlapping, and just get rid of any of the overlap, because that's, you can work with it after, but you know what, getting rid of the overlap first, it just makes it a little bit easier to work with. There you go. So what we're using is Mod Podge. There's many different products you can use for decoupage, so whatever is easier for you. So this is the Mod Podge I'm using for decoupage, and I'm just going to, with a brush, slap on a thin layer onto my jar. Just use an old brush, an old chippy brush that you don't need anymore, because it is a glue, so it's harder to wash out. You don't want to be using the same brush that you generally paint with. You want an older brush that you can just basically use just for decoupage, right? And I'm going to grab a plastic bag and then put the mason jar onto the napkin, wrap around, just lightly wrap around, and then grab your bag and just push it down on top of the jar, wrapping it everywhere apart around. You've got two layers. That's why I use a bag, because you've got two layers. The first undercoat layer of the bag is directly onto the jar. The second layer that your fingers are on, you can actually move it around so that you're not ripping at the napkin while you're doing this. So just press it all down into the grooves, and this is our basic little decoupage that we have going on that you've seen me do many times. And I'm just going to use the water just to rip at the top part using the brush in the water the right way up. Pushing it down, and you can always sand off the edges later too. So basically that's what you've got, and I'm just going to go over that top part of it with the Mod Podge just to give it a sealer. All the way around, and then just leave that to dry. That's quickly a basic run over. If you've never seen decoupage before, that's not the easiest, quickest way to show you. I do have more detailed videos on how to do that, but as I say, I just wanted to do that just to recap, so that when I do the next part it makes sense to you. So there we go, and we're going to just go let that dry just for a moment. Alright, yes, they are pretty napkins, but you don't have to have a pretty napkin. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next part, because the trash to treasures means generally what I usually do with this is I either throw it out, use it to dry and clean my hands, or it ends up on the floor. And I thought, okay, this is trash, so what can I do with this? And basically, I've already done one so far, is you can stamp on them and you can make your own napkin. So I've done different stamps on this one, and that's the first one I've done. And what I'm going to be doing is the two others, and just do like a little trio of my own little decoupage. So that's what we're going to be doing. So there's the big one, we're going to do the medium one, and we're going to do the small one. So I'm going to cut with the water in half for now, the plain napkin, so that I just work with one piece at a time. Let's go run along this edge. And we'll do the bigger one first. Thank you, Terry. Yeah. And just see basically what size. Yeah, it's way too big, so I'm just going to see what size I need, so I can run the water along of the basic size I need, and again just pull that apart again, so we don't have way too much. There we go, and just leave that for a moment. It's just a small little amount, but it's going to go nicely around the jar. And as I say, I'm just going to kind of figure out the length I need and just trim off what I don't need, so then I know exactly what length to do. Oh, I did the wrong end of the brush. I must be tired. I said that the other day. I'm doing on a Saturday doing the 4 o'clock. I find I'm getting tired by the end of the week. I used to do my lives on at 11:30 in the morning, and I think I was a little bit more alert then. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the blow dryer, just because I got a little bit of water on this napkin. I'm just going to hold it so it doesn't blow away and just dry off this end a minute. I didn't want the ink to kind of, make it bleed too much. So what I'm going to do is get, I think, what I thought I would do for the little one would be this little dragonfly. I think that'll look nice. And for this medium one, if I can find it, there it is. I would do the bird. Now the reasons I chose that is on this big one I've got the two birds, and I also have a dragonfly. So I figured if I picked from here, then the three together would almost look like a little set. So I'm going to get my ink pad, and I'm just going to basically put the ink on directly onto my stamp. It's an IOD stamp with the IOD permanent ink. You've seen me do that many times, and I'm just going to put it straight down onto the napkin and just press with my fingers, making sure all the details come in. Oh, there you go, Deborah. Great idea. But yeah. As I say, I'm going to start doing each week, just while I'm trying to get rid of some things, is do a trash to treasures. And this is one of the things that I would usually throw out, and I thought, what can I do with this? Because I do the mason jars quite often, and I do have lots of paper left over. So there you go. You can put in whatever you want, however you want to do it. Just let it dry a little bit, just so the ink dries. So just give it a moment. And then, so you want to get your bag ready, and you want to cover, let's get the right mason jar, this one. You want to cover exactly. What I do is I like to do the crease, the line where the two pieces they come together. My words today. Come onto where it's actually got the writing. And I like to do my pattern where I want to see the nicest part of my napkin. I like to put it onto the smooth part. I do that. A lot of people do it different ways. So I want to make sure that the bird goes onto the smooth part. Okay. So I'm just going to put this face down. I'm putting it face down, but it looks pretty good both ways. Look at that. That's one side. And there's the other side. It's pretty good both ways. But I'm going to do it face down. And then I'm going to put some of this Mod Podge again back onto the mason jar. Just put in a light coating onto the jar, but making sure you cover everywhere, because if you don't cover, that's where you tend to get air bubbles. So you want it, you don't need too much, but you want it nicely covered. Put that down, and I just got a little bit onto my fingers, so I'm just going to take that off so it doesn't annoy me later. And as I say, I'm going to put this plain flat side directly onto the bird, so I know it's on the area I want it to be, and wrap it around, and where the pieces join, they're going to join where the words are, because I'm going to distress that anyway. And then put my bag down, any plastic bag will do, and just wrap it around and rub. Just pushing it down, making sure you get it in all the creases of the jar, flatten it out. And the bag, basically, because it's plastic, it stops your fingers touching the napkin. Because it's wet with the Mod Podge, your fingers would literally pull the napkin back off. This prevents that happening. And there you go, you've got, I could have put it maybe down just slightly, a little bit lower, but that's okay. There's the bird. And I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on the top just so that that can dry. And it's protected. Oh, I don't know if you can use any ink for this. I use the IOD because it is the permanent ink, so it's not going to bleed. So if you use any other inks, I don't know. I really don't. And I'm going to leave that to dry with the other one up here. And I'll give you a better look when they are dry. I don't know if they'll be dry in time today, but I'm hoping so. Alright, I need another part of the napkin, if I can. Let's see where it is here. Alright. And I'm going to cut exactly how much I need with using, again, where did I put that brush? There it is. Let's make sure I get it the right way up this time. And I'm going to go along the crease here because I couldn't find my other end, but I'll find it later on when I don't need it. So in this one napkin I could do so many little jars and even quite a few bigger jars, and you can do any pattern you want. If you've got lots of stamps, there's many different things you could do. So this one I'm just going to do, it only needs a little bit of paper. So you're using one napkin for many different things. Hey Marsha, how are you doing? And it's certainly going to be, you know, if you're selling, definitely. I sell the bigger mason jars for $10 and I sell the mediums for $7, and I will be selling the tiny little ones just for like $4, $3, something like that. Or I could do the 3 together for a price. Haven't really thought about it yet. So you could literally, if you are selling, do really well on just one napkin. I'm just going to wrap this over just so I see how much I need of this. And rip off what I don't need. Alright, and we're going to use the ink again. And we're going to do a little dragonfly, okay? So I'm just going to, so you can see, just push the ink down onto the dragonfly, onto the stamp. I'm going to try and position this a little bit lower onto my napkin so it's not too high near the rim of the jar. Put it about there, I think. Push down. It would look so nice with the white background with the animal stamps. I don't have those stamps, but I think it would look really nice. You can even put the words and put, like, you know, the cow stamp and put moo, or the cow stamp and maybe put milk, or however you want. You can put words, farm, whatever you want on it. You could have lots of fun doing this, making your own napkins to do the decoupage. Anyway, I'm just going to show you here. And there you go. And I find with the stamps and the ink, the detail comes out really nice on the napkins. So I'm just going to put that, let it dry just a minute, because it is fresh ink. Put it down and then put the Mod Podge onto the jar, and the flat part of the jar I'm going to put it right on top of my dragonfly, and I'm going to wrap this around, and I'm just going to use the other side of this bag. You don't want the side that has glue on, so yep, this side. And then just push down. Making sure it goes in all the creases. Rubbing away. Press it down. And there we go. We've got a little dragonfly. As I say, you can put all sorts of things on it, add on to it. You don't have to just put one little piece. I'm going to take a little bit of this with the water. I'm just going to take a little bit off the top here. It's still quite long. So just run it along wherever you want to rip, so it goes in the direction you want to rip it. Be careful around the picture area. And I'm not right now going to, I will afterwards, but I'm not going to put the Mod Podge on top of this one because I want you to see the picture, because I think the other one's still quite wet, it's hard to see. Alright, put this down, put this on so I don't knock over, and we have this little one. We have the medium one that's quite wet right now, and then this one that I've already had done. It's got the birds on one side, flowers on the other side. You can have it whatever which way you want. So I think I'm going to put it showing the bird and the dragonfly and a little bit of flowers here. I can just move it a little bit so you can see. And you've got a set of 3 that you can put together. You can put little tea lights inside that would glow. You can just put some flowers in for spring, and you can even use, if you have the different, it would look nice with the blue ink, but if you have the red ink, the different colour inks, you could have lots of fun with this. and what we're literally using is what I would usually just throw away anyway. But yeah, when you've made your little mason jar that you've already made for your picture, or this is the one that I usually make, you've got scraps left over, and this is what you can do with them. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed. It's very simple to do, and as I say, I'm going to be doing some furniture next week, so looking forward to doing that. I've got some more crafts coming up next week, and some thrift store, well, I'd say it's thrift store items, but it's drop-off items I'm going to be showing you and what I'm thinking of doing with them. And we've got lots going on next week, so I'm going to be popping on almost daily. A lot of the lives will be 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then some of the videos or non-lives will just be put up in the mornings when I get a chance. So I hope you enjoyed. Everybody have a wonderful Easter and have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching, and please show all your friends. This is something simple to do. You could even have fun with this being so cheap and so easy. Do it with the kids. Alright? Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and everyone be safe.